Hello! I thought I'd like to do a little bit more than just movie reviews, so I'm gonna try to do this every month where I talk about 5 films that I enjoyed watching in the previous month. It can be a 2024 movie, or it can be a movie from last year. It could be from any year, as long as I watched it in the previous month. I'm only gonna talk about 5 films. I'm gonna try to make them just short recommendations. I'm not gonna try to go too deep into them. I'm also gonna go in the order that I watched these. This is not a ranking video at all. If you are looking for something new to watch, here are 5 movies that I watched in January that I would highly recommend. First, let's talk about Past Lives. I've talked about this movie a couple times now. I rewatched it right before I started making my top 10 movies of 2023 video. This is my favorite movie of 2023. Spoilers if you have not seen that. It's a very humbling and romantic film. The editing makes everything more intimate. I love Greta Lee's performance. She does a fantastic job on showing growth through these different stages in Nora's life. It's a movie that would probably be good for a February watch if you're wanting to watch some romantic films. It also got a couple Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, so if you are trying to watch this film, go check out to see if your local theater is playing it again. They are doing that for a couple of the Best Picture nominees. It is worth all the hype that you have heard already. Next is Ice Merchants. This is a 14-minute animated short that I rewatched while trapped in the snow, and it is also one of my favorite shorts. There's no dialogue, but the gorgeous animation does a great job on conveying these emotions. The color schemes perfectly give you the history of these characters. It becomes intense, it becomes emotional. It is a culmination of how to make a short film exciting and beautiful to watch. It is currently on YouTube under the New Yorkers channel. If you're looking for a quick watch, I would highly recommend that film. The third film that I want to talk about is Tokyo Godfathers. I've now seen all of Satoshi Kon's movies, and even though this is probably my least favorite of his, I do think this one would be a great introduction if you're wanting to get into his work. It's the easiest to sit through because it's a bit more lighthearted. It's not so bizarre like his other films. It doesn't really try to blend reality and fantasy like a bunch of other Kon's films. The characters are well written, their personalities are distinct from one another, and each gets an opportunity to be the main focus of the story. Kon's depictions of these characters, and honestly of the homeless in Tokyo, feels warm, it feels empathetic, everything about them just feels human. It is a great film that is kind and sweet, and then at one point it becomes very tense. If you're looking for an anime film to watch, or if you want to get started on Satoshi Kon's filmography, I think this is a great intro to his stuff. Next is Speed Racer. I've had this on my watch list for a while. I remember when it came out when I was a kid, I thought it looked bad. Maybe almost a decade ago, I started hearing people say it's their favorite movie, it is awesome. So I finally watched it, and yeah, this movie rules. The movie is a little over 2 hours, and I mean, it is going at a very fast pace. It does not feel like 2 hours. The editing is wild, and the transitions are sick. I will admit, after about an hour and a half, sometimes the editing and transitions can feel a little repetitive and tiresome, but then the movie will do something different with that style, and it's unpredictable. It's great to see Matthew Fox in fine cinema like this, but the main star that stole the movie for me was Roger Allam, who is seriously hamming it up every time he is on the screen. It's one of those rare movies where it just tries to do whatever it wants, and it tries to break the mold. It's not a common type of movie, and I adore it for that. It is currently on Max. I would highly recommend go check it out. Finally, I want to talk about Cat People. This is a 1940s film about a guy who falls in love with a girl named Irene, who has a fear she may turn into a Black Panther and kill her lover. That is the very sum of it. There's a lot more to it. It's exotic with a mix of horror. There's desire, jealousy, violence. The lighting and the lingering shadows add depth to these characters. The cinematography is stunning to look at. It's not a typical 1940s horror film, but it is very subtle because of its production and lighting. The story also goes in a pretty forward-thinking direction compared to other films that came out around this time. It's a little over 70 minutes. If you have the Criterion channel, or if you are planning to buy some Criterion Collection films, go check this out. I think it is worth it. And that's it. Those are 5 films that I watched in January. I'm going to see if I could do this in February. Thank you so much for watching this. If you made it this far, have you seen any of these movies? Do you plan on watching any of these movies? What should I watch in February? Please let me know. If you like this, please like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. Make sure you exercise every day, drink your milk, and have a great day.